How are you doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life in Burland Homestead. Today I'm going to talk to you about my new weeding technique. For years I had been neglecting my garden as you would for probably weeks or maybe even a month or two at a time, and then you get overwhelmed with weeds. The best way to probably go about weeding without making it a huge pain in the neck is to go with Patrick Whitefield's technique, and that is casual weeding. So I've been doing that for the last couple of years and it's been working out grand, but for an acre and a half of gardens you definitely got to do a bit more than casual weeding. And I reckon, hang on, there's a tractor coming. Geez, it's one tractor after another here in Roscommon. Of course, it's Sunday morning and the farmers are always working hard here every single day. So with some parts of the garden going out of hand, I actually just covered them with plastic, black plastic, to smother the weeds for a few months, and then I can plant it up again. But also I've been doing a bit of intermediate weeding, I could call it that, as a new technique. And all it is just weeding when you feel like it. I don't know about you, but when I walk by weeds and I see them in the garden beds, I just have to pull them up. It just bothers me. So especially when it's nettles, because I know that if I don't do it now, in 2 weeks time those things are going to grow twice the size because it's spring now. So let's see. We got our trusty leather gloves. These are really good actually. They're the first ones I found that actually don't have the thorns actually going through the seams. They're actually from a forestry shop in Ireland. So what I do now is, as I'm doing jobs in the garden like planting or harvesting, I simply just decide, right, I'm going to spend 5 minutes now tidying up a little bit of the garden. Just 5 minutes of weeding, and intensive weeding that is. So let's go. Before we get started, I just want to show you this. Look at the health of the grass here near the compost pile. And anywhere else in the gardens the grass hasn't grown at all. You can see here, that's more like the average. But look here, near the compost piles, the grass is doing much better. I guess it must be the heat and the runoff of the piles that's been keeping them a little bit warmer than usual. But it's amazing, look at that. It's like a meter or 2 or 3 feet around the compost pile. It's just doing really well. So the compost pile must have heated up the soil around it. So let's tackle some of these nettles here. So you see the way they actually kind of tip there? They sort of in a way tip there, and they just fall over. The stalks fall over and then they root every step of the way. Look at that, kind of like a rhizome, like a mint or something like that. And they sort of tip layer like a blackberry. But luckily, with no dig, it's relatively easy to pull them up. I could use a fork for this, but again, this is only an extended casual weeding. 5 minutes of intensive weeding, and we'll try and just pull them up by hand without tools. We'll try and pull up as many of the roots as I can. Can be hard to grab them underneath. Apparently the yellow parts, the yellow roots, these ones here, apparently they don't grow. It's only the rhizome that grows. If you have any other experience, please let me know in the comments below. Look at that. That's no dig for you. How easy it is to pull up all these nettle roots. Grass roots are not quite as easy, but not too bad. Just when you're weeding as well, shake all the soil off them as much as possible and then put them somewhere dry so they don't get contact with the soil and grow again. I'm definitely mostly worried about the nettles because they spread like wildfire. Don't want them taking over the place, and they're still easy to pull up. See the way they're rooting. I don't mind all the stalks around here, like some of the old wood from perennial plants that I actually planted here last year or over the years. I don't mind those because they're good for insect habitat, but we don't want the nettles to grow again, and the grasses and the thistles too actually, because they can, when they go to seed, that's the end of it. Look who's here to help. Come on, try to put up some grasses now. Probably not the easiest thing to put up. Come on, pull the root up. Grass roots are always hard to get. Shake it around. Okay, throw it in the pan.
Over there.
Here's a pan. Thank you. Especially the ivy. You don't want more ivy. We've got plenty of it. You can see now it's very hard to shake all the soil off the grasses when they'll grow again. That's why it's good to have chickens, because they'll eat them all. Just throw them into the chicken pen and you're better off than throwing it into an actual compost pile. With no dig it's fairly easy. I mean, you could use a fork first for the grasses. Nina, look, Nina, here, look. I used to keep dandelions actually in the garden because they're so beneficial and edible, and you can make wines from them and great for the insects. But you know what? They spread too fast, so I don't want to keep them really anymore. You can see here there's quite a few weeds in this part of the garden. That's because this is next to the field here, and there is some seeds blown over the fence and the wall. And we've got ivies actually going to seed up here, so we're going to cut those back because I don't want to deal with another year of ivy growing here, at least on fresh plants anyway, because they'll spread everywhere. And that's it, like in 5 minutes. You just spend 5 minutes of weeding. That way you're not down any time. You can still get on with your other jobs straight after. And it will make a difference, you'll find. If you do it every day, or maybe even a few times a day, it'll make a huge difference to your garden when you do a bit of weeding every day. Look at that. Especially this time of year. That's great, some ivy, yeah. It's hard enough to pull up. Not as hard as the grass roots are the worst. Or the nettles when they get going. So I gotta get the nettles before they root after falling over. See, all the stems from last year will fall down with the wind and the weather in the winter, and then they root every step of the way, just like a rhizome, like I said earlier. Rhizomes are like kind of like a mint root. They root every step of the way. This is a currant bush here. This is actually some elephant garlic. Look at that.
Pile's getting bigger.
The pile is getting bigger. It's a new insect pile now. That's great. Have a look here. There's actually mashuas. Those are just dead stalks or vines. And here's some more nettles over here. So it's a simple idea. Just spend 5 minutes of weeding as you're walking around and doing other jobs in your garden, like planting and harvesting. Just take a look around and see if there's any patches of weeds or unwanted plants in your garden that you can get rid of, or hopefully permanently eliminate from your garden. If you do a little bit every day, it'll add up. And thanks for watching the video. We'll see you the next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, thank you for helping, Levi. You know it's a no-dig garden, Levi.
He's a no boy. No-dig boy.
He's a digging dog in a no-dig garden.
Looks like he wants to belly rub again.
He's belly rubbing.
How's your always like
He's just taking a break now after doing a lot of weeding. You doing a lot of digging, Levi? You doing digging? Oh, good boy. For those of you wondering what that is, GPS. Just a GPS, just in case. They're only puppies. Luckily they've never run away. He's a good boy.
chewing?
What you chewing? What you chewing? That's a currant. That's a currant, Levi.